So foam system shall be designed based on NFPA 11 or NFPA 16. This requirement only for the installation, how to install the system and all. But where we need the foam system, those requirements come from the other, which is called code, like NFPA 30 or maybe some other requirement. So going over quickly over all those definitions we discussed in the previous foam systems course also. The expansion, stability, fluidity, contamination resistance, sealing and resealing, knockdown and extinction, and burn back resistance, right? So the expansion means how much foam produces, the finished foam produces from a foam solution when it is passed over the foam making equipment. How much it expands. Stability means the ability of finished foam to retain its liquid content and to maintain number, size, and shape of its bubble. Means how much it is stable on the surface of the fire once it goes. Fluidity means when flow is discharged, the foam is discharging on the water surface. How easily it is flowing on those surfaces. The contamination resistance means the ability of the finished foam to resist contamination by liquids it is applied, right? Sealing and resealing means the ability of foam blanket to reseal should break occur and its ability to seal against hot and irregular shaped object means how it is able to be on able to seal the surface whether it is a irregular shape or might be it is a hot surface, right? The knockdown and extinction means ability of foam to control and extinguish the fire, and the last, the burn back resistance. It is the ability of finished foam once formed on the fuel to stay intact when subjected to heat or flame. Means it is not getting damaged by heat or flame once discharged to the surface, and hence cooling the surface. The performance of the firefighting foams can be influenced by the type of foam making equipment, the type of the concentrant used, the type of fuel and fire, right? What is the tactics of the foam applications, the rate of the foams, the quality of the foam, and the length of free burn. And the foams, how it extinguishes the foam fire, right? Here we have it extinguishes the air. If you can see, we have a black, we have the foam size. It is getting discharged on the surface of the fire. Once there is a fire, it will vapors, right? It will exclude the oxygen from those areas by separating the flame from fuel surface, right? And it will also stop the release of the vapors. Once this come at the top, there is no flammable vapors, so the fire will be not further more. It will also blanket the fuel surface by excluding the oxygen from those areas and making as a radiant heat barrier to help feedback from flame to fuel, and it also give the cooling effect. We have the different concentrate, 6%, 3%, and 1% foam concentrate, right? We discussed in the beginning also. 6% means 6% of the foam and 94% of the waters, and vice versa for all the other concentrates. Then we have the expansion ratio, right? The expansion may be medium, high, or low expansion foam. This all 20:1, 20:1 to 200 into us. We'll discuss where is the application of these foams in our protected facilities, right? And the requirement of foams come from NFPA 11, NFPA 16, and NFPA 13 for protection, right? So NFPA 11 is a standard which covers the design, installation, operation, testing, and maintenance of low, medium, and high extension foam for fire protection criteria for fixed, semi-fixed, or portable system for interior and exterior hazard, right? NFPA 16 is only for foam water sprinkler system, which is mainly based for the sprinkler system. And the 30 is the one which is the code enforceable, right? So this is the code which tells us which liquid based on their classification of liquids, class 1 liquid, class 1A, class 1B, and all those based on the flash point and the boiling point. So he will tell only which area required the foam system protections, and then we have to refer to NFPA 11 and 16 for the installation into the various parts of those occupancies. Then we are moving on to the application of the foam in fire protections, right? The first one we have the low extension foam, right? The low extension foams can be projected over reasonably long distances and height, making them suitable in many situations for use against fire in large storage tanks, right? We can see that one. When there is a fire in a storage tank, in a large storage tanks, uh, the the firefighters discharges water from the hydrant or from the some far distance, making themselves secure first to fighting the fire. So when we need for high distance and when the height is more than the recommended one, like largest storage tanks, we are using the low expansion foams, right? And before the storage tanks, burns, road traffic accident, that be some accident on the road with the flammable liquids. Flammable liquid is spilled. We can use for the vapor suppression, helidecks, aircraft rescue areas, and it comes as a portable fire extinguishers also for a small first aid application or handline application. Then we have the medium extension foam, right? Medium extension foam can only be projected over a small distance. So we have the distance limitations. Right? A small distance, then we can go with the medium extension foam. The ratio is from 20 to 200. A large quantity of foam is produced from relatively a small quantity of foam solution, right? So we need a small quantity of the foam solutions and push with some of the expansion devices to fire the fire. So what are the applications for that one, right? We use for the vapor suppression, right? Flammable liquid storage tanks band, small cable ducts, fire involving flammable liquids, and transformer protons. When transformer is having some liquid and it catches the fire, we need medium extension foam for those areas. The last one we have the high extension foam, right? So the high extension foams flow directly out of the foam making equipment and is not projected any appreciable distance. Right? Its coverage of large area can also be slow, but the immense quantity of foam produced can quickly fill large enclosure. So these are the areas: lockdown and extension and protection of large volumes such as warehouse, aircraft hangars, cellars, ship areas, and all those the shafts, right? Normally, where we need more quantity of the foam directly from the foam devices, we can use the high extension foams. And due to its volume and lightness, right, the light of the foams, high extension foam is more likely than low and medium extension foam to break up in a strong wind condition, right? This is the reason why they said if your storage tank is uh, fighted by some far distance, if you are discharging water, should be with low extension foam, not the medium extension foam. If it is a high extension foam, it cannot travel large distance, and due to the wind coming due to the air, all the foam will be getting away from the reaching the target. So this is one of the area why we use this for area like warehouses or aircraft hangars, where we are getting foams directly from the top, right? So extinguishing the fire. Now we moving on to the system design, which is for the low expansion foam. We'll start with the low expansion, then we'll go for the medium and high expansion. So as for NFPA 11 section 5.3, which is for outdoor fixed roof cone tanks, right? There are four accepted methods for protection of fixed roof tanks, the fixed cone type roof tank, right? As for NFPA 11, the first one we can use the foam monitor and harness by the manual applications. The surface method of foam chamber, which we discussed in the beginning class. At the top, if it is our storage tanks, on the top we have some foam makers which will directly discharge water into the sealing area of the tanks and fill the foam into the sealing area and removing the oxygen, and hence fighting procedure is start. Then we have a subsurface injection method, and then we have a semi-surface injection method. Normally, some application they project foam from the bottom of the liquid and they go all the way floating at the top. We'll discuss that one in the detail. We will see the different method how it works. Monitor nozzles shall not be used primary means of protection for fixed roof tanks over 18 meter in diameter, right? So if your tanks is diameter is higher than 80 meters, 18 meters, sorry, right? We cannot be depend on the hand line of firefighting tactics or foam monitors. We need in that case a fixed foam protection system to inject water in those areas and suppress the fire. And here we have the outdoor fixed tanks, the application rate. What is the rate of the foam water solution over the surface, right? So in the first column, we have the types of the hydrocarbons, and then in the second column, we have the density in LPM and GPM per square feet or per square meter. And then we have discharge time. What should be the discharge time for those applications? Here we can see we have a flash point between 7.8 degrees Celsius and 60 degrees Celsius, right? So the minimum application rate for this flash point is 0.16. So the rate is almost fixed for all the applications, right? 0.16 GPM per square feet of the surface. But the time required, for flash point between 37.8 degrees Celsius all the way to 60 degrees Celsius, we need for 50 minutes. And for crude petroleum, we need 65 minutes, and the same for other flash point, right? And then we are going for the surface foam chamber application, right? Surface foam chamber method. Foam chambers are considered type 2 application, right? So this is the types of the foamers, type 2 application, which allow application of expanded foam onto the surface of the fuel with a minimum submerge of the foam and agitation of the fuel surface. So how we need to put the foam chambers onto the surface of onto the top of the tanks, right? Suppose this is our tank. This is our tank, right? So if the diameter of the tank is less than up to 24.5 feet, right? So if it's 24.5 feet, we need only one number of foam chambers. Just put one foam chambers, and it will fill this all seating area in minimum time in case of the fire. And all the way, if the diameter goes to, let's say, it is going to more than 24.4 meters, then we need additional one foam at this location. Right? If you can see, if the diameter is between 42 meters to all the way to 48 meters, we need around 4 foam chambers. So one will be at this location, one will be at this location, and one will be at this location. Normally, so the foam chambers only, the waters and foam solution goes inside a piping. The foam chambers is normally mounted on vertical surface, right, on the storage tank, approximately around 20 centimeter to 20.5 centimeter below the roof line, right, so that it will not getting affected by the wind and all those conditions. So this table is up to 60.9 meter or 200 feet. If we have diameter of the tank is larger than that, more than 200 feet, right? For additional 500 square feet, we need one additional foam outlet in those areas. And foam chambers can be used to protect storage tanks containing hydrocarbons or any kind of the polar solvent products. So when we have multiple foam chambers required, like more than 1, 2, 4, 6, or so on, we should be space is based on the equal spacing and the flow requirement to protect the fire. And here we have the flow rate and discharge time, right? For low expansion foam, right? Most hydrocarbon fuels meet application rate of around 0.10 GPM per square feet, right? As for NFPA, if we have a hydrocarbon which the minimum point, a flash point, we have 38 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius. We need 0.10 for 30 minutes. If it's below 38 degrees Celsius hydrocarbons, we need for 55 minutes. And if it is further goes down, so the time duration based on the type of the product. If it is a hydrocarbons, if it is a crude oil, and what is the flashing point, what is the boiling point? Based on that, we have to take care of these things. Now, as I discussed that along with the fixed foam system, we have some supplement protection required, right? So if this is your tank, right, protected by the foam system, we need supplement protection from on the side, maybe at least from 3 sides, based on the diameter of the tanks. If your tanks is around 19.8 or 20 meters, we need one hose lines and this one hose lines only, right? If it is between 20 to 36 or 37 meters, we need 2 numbers of foam lines, and if it is more than that, we need 3 numbers of foam lines. Normally, when you are fighting fire, the fixed fire protection system is fighting the fire, right? Maybe we need the manual attack from the nozzle or the monitors, at least to fight the fire manually, right? And the sight should be based on minimum 50 GPM for one hose steam, right? As for those table, you can see here. And the time duration for those we need at least supply for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes based on the diameter of the tank. So everything here everything regarding the foam system design is based on the diameter of the tank, types of the fuel, their flammability range in the flash point, and all those things we have to consider before selecting the fire protection equipments. And then we have a design procedure, right? What are the design procedure for the low expansion system design? The first one, you have to determine the fuel in a storage tank. What is the quantity of fuel? What is the type of fuel is there, right? And then determine the type of foam concentrate, either 1%, 6%, or 3% based on the requirement of those liquid. And then determine the application flow rate required. What is the density of the water required for those areas? And then that complete surface area, right? We have to calculate the complete surface area for the foam applications. What is the surface area? And then we have to calculate that one. And based on the surface area, we can calculate what is the foam solution required and what is the quantity and size of the foam chambers, the one in this case based on the diameter. The time duration for the applications, maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, all the way up to 60 minutes for different requirement. And about the supplement hose stream required, right? So those supplement hose stream required based on the diameter of the tanks again, along with the 50 GPM increment for more numbers of allowances. And at the last, determine the total quantity of foam concentrate required for these applications. These are some of the steps for the foam system designing application.